What if I told you that one of the most shocking draft slides in NFL history just landed the Cleveland Browns a potential franchise quarterback for the price of a fifth-round pick? And what if that same quarterback has already found himself in hot water with management before even taking a meaningful snap? This is the wild, unbelievable story of Shedeur Sanders and why his journey to Cleveland might be the most fascinating subplot heading into the 2025 season. Picture this scene from draft day. Round 1 passes. Round 2 comes and goes. By the time we hit round 3, analysts are scrambling to explain where Shedeur Sanders went. The son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, a quarterback who threw for over 4,000 yards at Colorado, suddenly becomes the biggest mystery of the entire draft. Teams are passing on a guy who many had pegged as a potential top 10 pick, and nobody can figure out why. Then, in the 5th round, with the 144th overall selection, the Cleveland Browns make their move. They trade up with Seattle, giving up 2 picks to land Sanders, and just like that, one of the most dramatic draft slides in recent memory comes to an end. But here's the kicker. This wasn't just about talent evaluation or scheme fit. This was about something much deeper, something that would rear its ugly head just months later. Fast forward to June, and Shedeur Sanders is making headlines again, but not for the reasons Browns fans hoped. 2 speeding tickets in 2 weeks. The first one, 91 miles per hour in a 65 zone. The second, hold on to your seats, 101 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone. We're talking about speeds that could literally kill somebody, and this is coming from a rookie trying to prove he belongs in the NFL. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. It's just speeding tickets, everyone speeds. But let me tell you why this matters more than you might realize. When Andrew Berry, the Browns' general manager, steps in front of reporters and calls your behavior not smart, that's not just a slap on the wrist. That's a public warning shot. That's the organization telling you, without saying it directly, that you're walking on thin ice before you've even earned your stripes. Berry didn't mince words when he addressed this situation. He talked about the dangers of excessive speeding, the risks to other drivers, the potential for accidents involving wildlife on Ohio roads. But more importantly, he talked about judgment, about the kind of decision-making that separates successful NFL players from cautionary tales. And right now, Sanders is dangerously close to becoming the latter. Here's what really gets me fired up about this whole situation. The Browns didn't just randomly stumble upon Sanders in the 5th round. They knew exactly what they were doing. While other teams were scared off by character concerns and maturity questions, Cleveland saw an opportunity. They saw a quarterback with legitimate arm talent, someone who could develop into a franchise player if he could just get his head on straight. But that's a massive if. Think about it from the organization's perspective. You've got Joe Flacco, a veteran who's been there and done that. You've got Kenny Pickett, a young quarterback with starting experience. You've got Dillon Gabriel, a 3rd-round pick who's hungry to prove himself. And then you've got Sanders, sitting at the bottom of the depth chart, trying to convince everyone that he's matured since those pre-draft concerns first surfaced. The crazy part, Sanders has actually handled the football side of things pretty well. In interviews, he said all the right things. I know who I am as a person. I'm focused on improving and contributing when my opportunity comes. He's working with the veterans, he's learning the system, he's doing everything you'd want from a rookie quarterback. But then he goes out and does something boneheaded like driving over 100 miles per hour on Cleveland streets. This is where the story gets really interesting because it's not just about one player anymore. It's about what this says about the Browns as an organization. Kevin Stefanski and this coaching staff have built something special in Cleveland. They've created a culture of accountability, of professionalism, of putting the team first. And now they're testing that culture with a player who's all the tools to succeed but seems determined to sabotage himself off the field. If you're a Browns fan watching this unfold, you have to be feeling conflicted. On one hand, you're thinking about the potential. A 5th-round quarterback who was once considered a 1st-round talent? That's the kind of value that wins championships. But on the other hand, you're watching a young player make the exact same mistakes that have derailed promising careers before him. The Browns' approach to this situation tells us everything we need to know about where they are as an organization. They're not going to coddle Sanders. They're not going to make excuses for him. Berry's public comments made it clear that this behavior is unacceptable, period. And that's exactly the right approach, because anything less would undermine the culture they've worked so hard to build. What makes this story even more compelling is the timing. We're heading into a season where the Browns have legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. The defense is elite. The running game is dynamic. The offensive line is solid. The only question mark has been at quarterback, and suddenly they might have found their answer in most unlikely place, the 5th round of the draft, in a player that 31 other teams passed on multiple times. But here's the thing that really keeps me up at night thinking about this situation. Sanders has shown flashes of the maturity you want to see. When he talks about earning his opportunities, about learning from veterans, about staying ready for his moment, that's the kind of mindset. That translates to success in the NFL. But then he goes and drives recklessly through Cleveland streets, and you wonder if he really gets it. The competition at quarterback is fierce, and that might actually be the best thing for Sanders right now. He can't coast on his reputation or his pedigree. He has to earn every snap, every rep, every opportunity to show what he can do. Flacco and Pickett aren't going to hand him anything, and that pressure might be exactly what he needs to focus his energy in the right direction. As we head toward the regular season opener against Cincinnati on September 7th, the quarterback battle is wide open. Sanders probably won't be the Week 1 starter, but that doesn't mean his story is over. In fact, it might just be beginning. Every practice, every meeting, every decision he makes off the field is an opportunity to prove that he's learned from his mistakes and grown into the leader this team needs. The Browns organization isn't just about talent, they're about building champions. They've seen what happens when talented players lose focus or make selfish decisions. That's why Barry's comments weren't just about speeding tickets. They were about setting a standard and making it clear that representing this franchise comes with responsibilities. For Sanders, this is his crossroads moment. He can either let these off-field issues define him, or he can use them as motivation to prove everyone wrong. The talent is undeniable. The opportunity is there. The question is whether he has the maturity and discipline to seize it. What do you think, Browns fans? Are you buying into the Shedeur Sanders potential, or are these red flags too big to ignore? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to stay connected with all the latest Browns news and analysis, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the Browns Breakout family. We're building something special here, just like our team is building something special in Cleveland, and your support means everything as we work toward that 1,000 subscriber milestone. The season is almost here, and this Sanders storyline is just one of many we'll be following closely. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's see if this 5th round gamble pays off in the biggest way possible.